This is my response video to the delightful Ashley Mardell and her video, We Get It, You're Gay. Ding! Ashley's video, which I will link to somewhere around here, is amazing and poetic and thought through, and I'm not that good, but it was also about being pansexual. And you know, the erasure that comes with being bi, pan, or gay, or anywhere on that kind of identity spectrum. I want to talk about non-binary erasure though, because that's something that I deal with constantly. Customer service, surveys, and applications don't seem to care when it just has male and female boxes for me to tick, and then I have a minor freakout. If it's online, it won't let me progress until I pick one of them by lying. And often, there's no point in it. There's no need for it. I ordered some clothes, and it asked me for my gender in the feedback form about the click and collect service, which I loved, and I wanted to say good things about the click and collect service because it was fantastic. And I ordered handbags and a dress, and like, surely my order describes what gender of product I purchased. If that's what they want, if that's what they want to know is like the demographics they're going for. But there wasn't any option for anything else, and so I emailed them and they had a very good response. But it's the thing, it's so tiring having to be the one who initiates this conversation every single time. Every time I'm misgendered or people question the they in everything, I have to bring it up. And then I sometimes have to describe the whole non-binary spectrum in the first place. I have to be an educator simply to exist. I have to be the asshole who says that your system is wrong, please fix it because it offends, annoys, and insults me. Like, what is the best way to do that? What is the best way to say this is hazardous to people with depression issues? It'll cause them to spiral, as it does. I'm very good at coping at this point, but in my early days of it, fuck, I would have been thrown out for a loop for the whole fucking day. And I know there is a number of us. I can't say exactly how much when anyone asks about what percentage of population is this thing, because it's not on the census. Nobody knows the actual population percentage towards any kind of queer individual. There are some people saying about how much is a gay percentage, but these are based on old-ass things that are not countrywide. Also, what about bisexuals? What about pansexuals? What about anything that is more than just straight or gay? It's binaries again. Everyone's trying to focus on binaries because they're easy, but they're not effective. But it just wears you down. Every time someone calls me a cross-dresser, which has happened at conventions before, and I'm like, do I email this blog and be like, can you change the wording? I'm not a fucking cross-dresser. You didn't ask me. You don't know me. Please, could you be more considerate? Because I do that every time I can, but after a while I'm just like, do I do this for the 6th time today? My partner Mike gets asked sometimes by very rude people, who's the girl in the relationship, because they perceive us as two cis gay men. And I've never been asked that question. He gets asked it because people are rude. I don't get asked it because people just assume. People assume, oh, you're the feminine one, you must bottom. He's had to come out to people as bi, because after he started dating a guy for the first time, everyone asked if he was gay now. All people have to do is use more gender-neutral language, be aware of the bare minimum of different identities, and not make assumptions. These are actually quite easy things, but we aren't teaching them to people at a young enough age for it to go in yet. And then there's where there's no conversation. There's television, there's media, there's posters, there's flyers, there's pictures, there's films, where heteronormativity is almost aggressively used. Like Leah Worthington, who made The Legend of Bold Riley, a fantastic comic about basically a female Conan who occasionally sleeps with ladies, made this incredibly good comic, and then one of the reviews said it was really good, but felt like the lesbianism was really forced in and tacked on. And it wasn't. It was very subtly woven into the plot. It never made a big deal of it. There was no discussion about it. It was just one panel where evidently the person she helped shared a bed one evening, and it was really pleasant and nice. And that happened. And it sucks when that is a review that people consider valid, but I know people like Chuck. I can't get into it. I have tried. The first season, it's just, well, we're going to do a bunch of cool spy stuff now. But hey, why have we not resolved that I kind of like you and you kind of like this dude? So there's all sort of hetero sex that's trying to happen right now for no real reason that's totally work inappropriate that we shouldn't be talking about at the moment either. It's just wasting time and there's actual like spy stuff and missions and people could die. But I really want to talk a moment about my penis and your vagina. And it just is so grating to see this go on and freaking on. And then there's the posters for perfumes and fragrances and lingerie and whatever that show women as desirable and sexy and wantable and whorish, but also kind of purish and pristine and clean and neat and no hair anywhere except on the head, loads on the head, but nowhere else. In contrast to the male advertisements, so men are in business suits showing off watches and they're successful and they're debonair and they're rich and they're aspirational rather than acquirable. And then they merge in adverts and they make out and they kiss and it's the man who initiates and the woman who likes him enough that she just gives him everything. And it just wears you the fuck down to see this so binary, so enforced, so lacking androgyny. The marketing could just be about the goddamn product sometimes. And that's without even getting into pop music, which is a rant too long to do in this. Now I planned to do this video from yesterday when I first saw Ashley's channel and saw that amazing video. But this very morning, I was taking a survey from YouTube, and this question came up. It's that question that freaks me the hell out. From a new media source. From something very modern and relevant and current. And from a place that has so many good resources on why this question's a problem. And educational channels like Sexplanations, Lacey Green, and Ashley Mardell to an extent, even though she's not really educational, but she's just kind of awesome and loves doing really good, useful videos, and I freaking love the work you're doing, Ashley. But also from people with their own stories of transitioning and non-binariness, like Alex Birdie, Julie Vu, Lane S, Olivia Buzzle, Penicillin Pusher, and me. And it just felt so wrong that they could make this mistake when they are the place where this mistake is talked about and rectified. It just felt so inexcusable. Is that too harsh at me to think that this is not an excusable thing because it's YouTube? To expect these people to have any kind of semblance of an idea as to what it is that's on their product when getting feedback about their product? Specifically feedback about how great YouTube is for its creators. Like, it was almost 10 pages of pure self-indulgence before I got to this. I don't want to be the jerk who has to correct everyone on everything. I don't know what else to do. If I don't, there's a high chance that no one will, as no one does in many, many circles. What's it like being non-binary? It's exhausting. We need some positivity in here though, so let's give you some links to some awesome people who I think deserve more subscribers and support. Here's Sexplanations, Lacey Green and Ashley Mardell talking quite educationally about these topics, and here's Lane S, Julie Vu, and the real Alex Birdie just talking about their own stories, and they are amazing, lovely, beautiful people, and they deserve subscribers too. And they're quite small, some of them, so you know, spread the love. I don't always rant about gender complexities. No, seriously, I don't. Usually I do like reviews and gameplay stuff. But when I do, it's poignant. For more poignantness and progression of narrative, subscribe or back me on Patreon. Thank you.